Greg worked in a gray building, on a gray floor, inside a beige cubicle that smelled faintly of old coffee and toner. He was good at his job, not flashy, but reliable, the kind of person the company kept comfortable, but rarely celebrated. Then one Tuesday, his manager walked over with a thin smile and a sealed envelope. Inside was a letter that said Greg's salary was being increased by 10%. 10%. Greg's brain started doing the kind of math that makes your chest feel warm. That was an extra $500 a month, after taxes. $500 of breathing room he didn't have the day before. That night, he and his wife sat on the couch, and for the first time in years, the conversation wasn't about what they couldn't afford. Now, here's what should have happened. That extra $500 should have floated softly into a savings account, or quietly paid down the lingering credit card balance, or trickled into an investment account where it could sit and grow and eventually buy Greg years of his life back. That's the logical story. But Greg was human, and humans don't process money like spreadsheets. They process it like emotion. The first change was small enough to feel invisible. Greg's car was 9 years old and made a groaning sound every time he turned left. It still ran, but the raise planted a new thought in his head. I can afford something safer now. Within 3 weeks, Greg drove off the lot in a slightly used sedan that smelled like artificial leather and possibility. The payment was $350 a month. He told himself he was just replacing a future repair bill with a predictable expense. It sounded responsible. It was not. Then came the smaller upgrades, the ones that don't announce themselves. The streaming service with the premium tier because, honestly, who can live with ads anymore? The takeout order on a tired Thursday night, because a man who just got a raise shouldn't have to cook every single meal. The grocery store trips where Greg stopped looking at the price of the cheese and just grabbed it. None of these were big decisions. That's the trap. They were micro decisions, each one wrapped in the quiet permission that a raise whispers into your ear. You earned this. Here's a principle that sits at the dark heart of personal finance psychology. It's called hedonic adaptation. It means humans are remarkably good at getting used to pleasure. That new car smell? It fades. The joy of the premium cheese? It becomes baseline. The luxury of takeout? It morphs into an expectation. Your brain adjusts, and the thing that once felt like a treat becomes the new normal. And here's the cruelty. Once it's normal, you need an even bigger pleasure to feel the same spike of happiness again. The raise didn't make Greg richer. It just shifted his definition of enough a little further out of reach. Months rolled by. Greg's paycheck was bigger than ever, and yet, on a random Wednesday, he was sitting in his cubicle, staring at his bank balance with the familiar, sinking dread. He did the thing people do when anxiety punches through denial. He started adding. The new car payment? $350, gone before the month even breathed. The incidental upgrades on subscriptions, food, and little, you deserve this purchases? Another $180 vanished into the fog. The slightly nicer wardrobe he felt he needed now that he was a senior, something or other. That averaged out to $70 a month. And then there were the micro leaks, the parking app that now felt essential, the slightly better coffee beans, the convenience of paying someone to mow the lawn he used to do himself. Tiny invisible threads, each one tying his new income to a new expense. Greg did the cold, quiet math. His raise had brought in $500. His lifestyle had silently expanded by $520. He wasn't treading water. He was sinking in a deeper pool. This is the part where the story could become an extreme warning, where someone might say, never upgrade your life. Never enjoy a raise, live like a monk and hoard every penny. That's not what Greg's story is about, because the opposite extreme is just another form of financial dysmorphia, punishing yourself for earning more, for letting life get a little easier. There is a balance. The trap isn't spending more. The trap is spending more without choosing to. The psychological shift happens when spending becomes reflexive instead of intentional. When the raise bypasses your conscious mind and goes straight into your autopilot habits. Most people treat a raise like a permission slip to stop thinking. That's the hidden trap. The money isn't the problem. The absence of a decision is the problem. Let's look at this through a simple lens. Imagine Greg had taken that same $500 and on day one, made one deliberate choice. He could have directed 200 of it toward his future self and automated transfer to an index fund he'd never have to think about. That leaves $300 of genuinely new money to improve his life right now. He could have upgraded the car with a smaller payment, kept one of the nice subscriptions, and still had a little left over each month to feel the raise in his hands. The pleasure would have been real, but it would have been contained, chosen. The math would have stayed on his side. The point isn't deprivation. The point is that a raise is the most dangerous money you will ever receive, because it arrives wrapped in celebration, and celebration is the enemy of reflection. Your brain wants to convert income increases into lifestyle increases as fast as possible, and it will do so using the quietest justifications you've ever heard. I deserve this. It's only a little more. Everyone at my level has this. Greg's story ends quietly, the way most financial stories do. No bankruptcy, no repo man, no dramatic collapse. Just a slow dawning awareness that earning more had somehow made him less free. The raise that was supposed to be a bridge to a better life had become a wall he built around himself, brick by brick, in the shape of a car payment, a cheese selection, and a streaming service he barely watched. The paycheck grew, but Greg shrank. Your next raise is coming. Maybe not this month. Maybe not this year, but eventually. And when that letter slides across the desk, or that notification hits your phone, you will have about 48 hours of clarity before your brain starts the quiet work of adjusting your normal. In that tiny window, you have a chance to decide, with intention, where some of that money will go before it disappears into the silent machinery of more. Because the raise you don't direct will always direct you. Pause for music and visuals. The story of Greg is a mirror. The trap of the raise is not in the money. It's in the autopilot. Every income bump is a test of your ability to stay conscious, to choose what grows with your income and what stays the same. So when your moment comes, remember, Greg, the money is yours. The choice is yours. Just make sure it's actually you making the choice, and not the ghost of your former self, whispering what you deserve. Because true wealth isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much of your income you actually keep, and where it's allowed to take you.